We are live. Welcome to today's show. I am your host, Edmond Ikeh, and we are going to discuss some tantalizing topic today. Hello, hello, my brothers and sisters in Nigeria or wherever you are in the diaspora. I am your humble host, Edmond Ike, hosting the show Nigerian Constitution and Your Right. Nigerian Constitution, Know Your Right. Every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Nigerian time or 3 p.m. US Central Time, 4 p.m. US Eastern Time. So, welcome to the show and you know what it is. Every Tuesday, we pick out section of the Constitution and try to dissect it in the way our brothers and sisters in Nigeria all over the world can understand, so that they can understand their rights and how that is contained within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, so that they can be empowered to exercise their right at all time. And for the past few weeks, we have been focusing on the series of the fundamental rights of Nigerians. And I've mentioned before, over and over again, that we have 14 fundamental rights, and these 14 fundamental rights is covered in Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and is also within the section 33 through section 46. And today we are going to be focusing on section 40. In this section 40, we're going to ask in the question, does Peter Obi have the right to dump PDP before the primaries? That is the question. And we are dwelling on section 40. And today I have a wonderful guest. For those that was here last Tuesday or those that watched the show afterwards, you already know my guest today. My guest today is Barrister Joseph. So I'm going to invite him to the show. I'm going to add him to the stream so that we can get started. Welcome, Barrister. Good to see you again.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Edmond. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's good to see you. Well, yes. Some audience may have not seen you before, so can you introduce yourself once again to the audience and say your warm greetings to them?
Well, my name is Joseph Mtemdo Bajo. I'm a legal practitioner, and I'm also a publisher of the Transmitter newspaper. Yeah, so that's just brief introduction about myself. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's good to have you again to the show. I'm very, very happy and very excited that you are here to share your knowledge, your legal knowledge with fellow Nigerians, so that they can understand their rights a bit better than they know before. Because the goal is that whenever you watch this show, at the end of the show, you should have learned something more about the laws of the land, about the Constitution of Nigeria than you know before. So that is why we try to have a legal practitioner in the show, so that it's not going to be just me speaking, but we'll also have someone who is actually practicing law in Nigeria also speak and answer some questions. And as we go along the show, please, I invite each and every one of you audience watching the show, please join in the conversation. This is a conversation. I want you to be part of the show. So go to the comment section, whatever platform you're watching from, go to the comment section and comment, ask questions, and the good barrister will answer your question, or I will also answer your question if it's addressed to me. So yeah, just use the comment section. Use it. It's your way to participate. This show is streaming on 3 different platforms at the same time: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So use any of these platforms to send in your comment, to your question, and participate. Barrister.
Yes.
Today we're focusing on Chapter 40 of the Constitution, Section 40 of the Constitution, and the question based on that section is: and I mean, we already know what happened in the nation in the past 1 week when the presidential aspirant, Mr. or former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, decided to dump the party he was aspiring under, that's PDP, and people were worried, can he do that? Can he do that? Because it was like just 72 hours or before the primaries, he just decided to dump the party. Is that legal? So please, let's hear your input on that situation.
Well, just like you said, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, contain the fundamental rights of every individual as captured by Chapter 4 of our Constitution. Now, speaking in specifics to the issue or the question you have asked as to whether or not a particular person or a particular individual can dump a political party and move to another political party. Why not? It is expressly written there in Section 40 of the Constitution, which is also a fundamental right of every citizen to belong to any association, any lawful association of his or her choice, you know. So the word association here is also defined to be any group or any gathering or any assemblage of people of like mind and all of that. So any association that is lawful, it is, or perhaps is legal within the context of the law, is within the right of every citizen to belong to such association. So it could be an association, your community association, it could be your student association, it could be your market association, it could be your professional association. It's within your right, within the context of Chapter 4, particularly Section 40, for you to belong to any association or that association. Now, talking about association, political party is within the context of association. It's an assembly of gathering of people who believe in particular political ideology. Now, if you belong to that political ideology and at some point you said, no, your principles, your ideology no longer fits in this political party, it's still within your right to leave to another political party of your choice that you feel can accommodate your ideology, can accommodate your principles, can accommodate your wishes and aspirations. So I've read a lot of commentaries where people are criticizing the former governor of Anambra State and the former vice presidential running mates to President Atiku, talking of Peter Obi, that he has left the People's Democratic Party and now he's in Labour Party. Why not? He's still within his right. And if he has decided to exercise his right in that manner, I think he shouldn't be crucified for that.
All right. Thank you very much for that wonderful explanation. I hope the audience are following, and I hope they understand that explanation, and that it makes more sense to a layman that every citizen have the right to associate with any party, any union, any even local association in your locality, or even market union or such things. So, and that is no different to the desire of Peter Obi to associate with the PDP or not to associate with PDP. So thank you very much for that. So I'm going to read the comments as we move along. See if we have anything. All right, we have a comment from Rita English. So, good evening, everyone, and nice to have you here, Barrister Joseph.
Thank you, Rita. thank you for listening
it's
to
nice
us.
To have you here. Any more questions? I think just the question for now. So please keep sending your question, your comments. If you have a question, please ask a question. I don't want to be the only one bombarding the good barrister with questions. I want you guys to also help bombard him with questions because he's always, I'm sure he's very happy to answer all questions thrown at him. So and his answers are always succinct, and, right straight to the point. So thank you very much for that answer. So there is another question that people are wondering, that we have a right of association, yes, according to section 40. Then there's this issue that's ongoing about civil servant. What is the difference between a civil servant and a political appointee? And now, is civil servant are they supposed to partisan or not? And because according to this section 40, we can associate to any association, political party, and whatnot. So, are civil servants allowed to be partisan? And as you answer that, try to also distinguish between a civil servant and a political appointee.
Okay. Yes, this issue came up before the Supreme Court of Nigeria in the popular case of Balarabe Musa versus INEC. And the Supreme Court had to give interpretation to the word any person, the word any person. And the Supreme Court said, in defining any person include civil servants. And as such, when it comes to section 40, which gives right to anybody belonging to any association of his or her choice, civil servant can, as a matter of fact, also be members of political parties of their choice. They can participate in political activities of their choice. So it should not be restricted. Nobody should say that, yes, because somebody is a civil servant and as such, he loses his constitutional right of belonging to any association or any freedom, or any political, or exercising his political rights. Because it is the Supreme Court that has given that interpretation in the case I mentioned, the case of Balarabe Musa versus INEC, when the Supreme Court was confronted with the issue of interpreting section 40 and stating whether or not somebody who is a civil servant can belong to a political party or exercise his political rights. So that has been laid to rest by the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which is the apex court in Nigeria, given interpretation to what section 40 is and defining the word any person as stated in that section 40 of that constitution. So nobody should mislead anybody at all as to whether saying that civil servant will, or by virtue of them being civil servant, will lose their rights. So nobody should dare go there. That issue has been laid to rest by the Supreme Court. Now, talking about political appointee, yes, political appointee are just perhaps those who have perhaps participated in political activities and have found themselves within the favors of the corridors of powers, or have been invited to come and serve in that political dispensation, either by virtue of their expertise or by virtue of their political affiliations or their political connections or friendships. So that's the distinction. They are perhaps considered to be appointees of government, or those in leadership. It could be governor, it could be president. And again, there is always this dichotomy of who a public servant is and who is who a civil servant is, or a political appointee and all of that. But to stick to
barrister, to make that clearer, can you give us examples of those people? Like who are the examples, or what are the examples of political appointees? What are the examples of civil servants?
A commissioner,
be clearer to the layman. The layman was like, civil servant. Who is civil servant?
Okay. A permanent secretary in a ministry of government, right, is a civil servant, right? A director in the ministry is a civil servant, right? A clerical officer in the office of the director is a civil servant, right? And those who are within the careers of civil service, serving the government, who are employed and whose service will come to an end either by a fruition of their time, or maybe they've served 35 years in service, or they caught up with age. So those ones are within the categories of civil servant. Now, a commissioner under the appointee, serving under a governor, is an appointee. He's just serving there by virtue of maybe his expertise and or his relationship with the governor. A special advisor, for instance, is an appointee. A principal special assistant is an appointee. A senior special assistant to the governor or to the president or to the local government chairman is an appointee. His the power of hire and fire lies in the governor who appoints him, or the chairman who appoints him, or the president that has appointed such person. The power of hire and fire lies in that person. But in the case of a civil servant, there are chains and protocols, and there are events to follow before such a person can even be terminated. So the distinction is quite clear. Appointees are people who have found themselves into government in a particular dispensation. They serve and go. They may be fortunate to serve just 4 years, which is within the tenure of that governor, or 8 years as the case may be, or just 2 years, or it could be 1 year. So that's the distinction. But all of them are standing on the same pedestal as far as their political right is concerned. All of them can still enjoy, or all of them are entitled to their fundamental right of freedom of association. They can participate in political activities of their choices. They can seek offices, seek to be elected into offices. They can vote and be voted for, and all of that. So that is it. The distinction does not waive them from their rights of their political right, in short. So that's the clear distinction.
All right. Thank you for that wonderful explanation. So now it is clear that political appointees are people who have been appointed by a government.
Yes.
With their expertise, and then civil servants are people who are they work in the government for a certain role, like directors, or who that work in the local government, the state government, under some directorship, and they can work for years, but up to like maybe 35 years, or till the
under the civil service rule. Yeah. Under the civil service rule, they are to serve for 35 years.
35.
Right? Or once they attain the statutory age of retirement, right? Or maybe at the age of 60, they retire from service. They become senior citizens, right? So, but those ones that are appointed by the governor, they are just their determination or their functions is based on the whims and caprices of those that have appointed them, and they can, as such, be fired at any time by them.
All right. Okay. I think we'll have a few questions that came in by one of the viewers, so I'm going to take that question so that you can answer it before we'll continue. Okay, let's read this. It says, "Thank you, Barrister Joseph. I love the energy and vibe you bring to this topic." Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chidima. I appreciate it.
And again, Chidima Ezilo also said, "Is there any time?" And there's a question to you for you, Barrister. "Is there any time restriction when one can leave and join a party during the period of primaries?" Which is, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, there is no time to join a political party. There is no time. You can join at any time. As a matter of fact, some of let me use the major political parties, for instance, the PDP and the APC, or they have articles in their constitution that grants waiver even to somebody that is just coming in today to even stand for elections. And that is what people are doing, and what most of the political parties are doing. And we can see the Labour Party, Peter Obi just went to Labour parties just a few days ago, and he has emerged as the presidential candidate, flag bearer for that party. So there is no time within which one can come into any political party. It all depends on the time you want to join such a political party, and perhaps once they open their or perhaps let me say it could be that at some point all the political party open a floodgate for people to come in. So that's during the process of registration of membership. But there is no specific law that says this is the only time you can come into a political, or you can join a political party. It's your choice. It's your inalienable right. You can decide to exercise it at your free will, or at any time you choose to exercise it. You may choose to sleep over it. You may choose to just keep it in abeyance. But anytime you wake up and you say you want to join, nobody, if you want to join the PDP today, nobody will stop you. If you want to join APC today, nobody will stop you. Besides, most of these membership registration are now electronic. So you can even join, go to their website and even join as a member. So there's no particular time. It's your right. And once it's a right, it becomes inalienable. And until you choose to exercise it, or at any time you choose to exercise it, you can always exercise your rights. It's your right.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Joseph, for that wonderful explanation. I just want to add to that. Yes, the barrister explained beautifully. You can join any political party at any point in time you desire. And you can leave at any time you desire, because you have the right as guaranteed by the Constitution, Section 40, to be precise. And every constitution, every political party have their constitution. Obviously, the constitution also have to respect the constitution of the land. So, and some political party in their constitution will say that maybe when you join their political party, you cannot use their political party to contest for any elected position, maybe until you are 6 months in their party, or maybe until you're 1 year in their party. These are, some parties have such clauses in their constitution. So, and again, and those parties can also have a clause within the constitution that say, okay, we can waive this so that you can participate in the election, maybe because they know you're a great candidate, that you made their party win election, then they can waive that for you, which if Labour Party had that within their clause, then they might have waived it for Peter Obi, that allowed him to participate in the Labour Party primary, and now he has emerged as their candidate. So that's what I want to add to that. So take a few more questions, comment from the comment section. All right, Chidimezila said thank you. So thank you, Barrister, for answering her question. And then Blessing Amretifa said, can diaspora become a registered member of any Nigerian political party? I will let the barrister answer that before I add my own name.
Okay, that you are in the diaspora does not mean you are no longer a Nigerian, or does not mean you will not show interest in what is happening in your country. So, if you choose to belong to a political party of your choice and operate from the diaspora, the law absolutely allows that. And that is why, if you as you can see, the APC and the PDP and all other political parties also have their membership who are in the diaspora, who also canvass support for them, who also support them maybe financially, or maybe in the area of sharing expertise and all of that. So it's your choice. It's your choice. You can choose to. And like I said, most of these political parties now have their membership registration portal open for anybody who wishes to join a political party of his or her choice. So that you are in the diaspora does not mean your right as a citizen of Nigeria is taken away, except where you have decided that, oh, you denounce the citizen of Nigeria, and you are no longer a citizen of Nigeria, and you take up another citizenship of another country. That is when we can be saying, okay, you don't have that right as somebody living in the diaspora. So if that will be, why then would the federal government establish the diaspora commission and perhaps place somebody in charge to be able to harness support back home? So if people that are living in the diaspora are supporting the country, they are contributing to the GDP of the country, will you now say such people should not have rights to belong to political parties of their choice? I think whoever may have shared that or may hold that opinion is only being doing justice to our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Joseph. Yes, just to add to that, indeed, living in the diaspora does not prevent you to participate or become a member of any political party in Nigeria, because you are a Nigerian. Because you're living outside Nigeria does not automatically make you a non-Nigerian. You are still a Nigerian. Like me, I live here in the United States of America. I don't belong to any political party in Nigeria, but if I want to belong to any political party, I can do that just quickly. As a matter of fact, many political parties in Nigeria have reached out to me to join their party, possibly because of my influence or because of what I do. So they have reached out to me to join their party, but I have said I don't want to belong to any political party at this moment. That is a personal decision. It's not because I live outside Nigeria or because I live in the diaspora. No, it's because that is not what I want to do now. So if you live in diaspora, actually, I encourage people that live in diaspora to join a political party if you believe you want to be partisan. I don't want to be partisan. That's why I don't want to belong to any political party at the moment. So if you want to be partisan, join a political party. We need a lot of people in the diaspora to join political party to bring in fresh ideas, fresh thinking, and change the way things are being done in our politics. Our politics need new idea, new fresh blood to build stronger foundation so that we'll have political parties with ideology. At the moment, Nigerian political parties do not have ideology. Some they have ideology in their constitution, but they don't live up to the ideology that they have written in their constitution. So we need to have political parties that have written an ideology in their constitution, and then they actually live up to it in the way they govern, in the way they make laws, in the way they go about governance. We haven't gotten there yet in Nigerian politics or among the political parties in Nigeria. And that is why diasporans need to come in, because you have experienced how parties outside Nigeria have ideology and they put their ideology into practice. So you can infuse that into Nigerian political parties when you join. Not just joining yourself, because that is a mistake that a lot of diasporans do. Oh, one diasporan will decide one day and join a political party. You go there, you become ineffective. If you want to join as a group, so that when you are bringing those ideas, you have your group backing you and supporting the idea, and then you can push the idea to go further so that it can become implementable. But if you're a single person, your voice will be drowned so quickly by those old guards who have been there for too long, who are very comfortable doing things the same way, that have not produced good results. Any more questions? Okay, that is the other question for now. So please, audience, if you have any questions, send in your questions, any comments, send in your comments as we continue. We'll have a few more minutes to end this show, maybe 3 minutes. So I would like, so please, when you join this show every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, don't join alone. Invite your friends, invite your neighbors, invite your brothers and sisters, so that we can learn together, so that we can understand what it is that is in our constitution. What are the rights that the constitution has bestowed upon you that you are entitled to as a Nigerian? Because it's difficult to read all the constitution yourself. You have a lot of chapters, and each chapter has a lot of sections. So you may not be able to sit down and read it, but if you come and listen to this show, you will gradually you will cover the constitution and understand what its content is, and know what you are entitled to, so that you can live freely as a Nigerian and stand up for your right as a Nigerian at all times. So join every Tuesday and bring more people to join and participate. Okay. One more question for the good barrister before he does his closing remark and we round up. So since the question is on, does Peter Obi have the right to dump PDP before the primaries? And we have answered that question. So just a follow-up question on to that. Since he had the right to dump PDP, and even when the primaries is so close, so what does that say about morality and ethics? Is there any ethical or moral obligation when it comes to legality? Is there any link between that?
Talking about morality and legality, right? So, our law school teachers would tell us in those days that law and morality have nothing to do in common. When law comes through the door, morality goes out through the window. But in politics, Plato has set three standards for us as human beings to use in assessing ourselves when we are confronted with certain decisions. So, is it loyalty to your conscience, or loyalty to your state, or loyalty to your political party? So, when you are confronted with this, where do you tilt your loyalty to? All right. So, if somebody like Peter Obi, whom I, as a person, have followed, I've listened carefully to some of his interviews, I've read a lot of things about him. I look at his educational background. I look at his political antecedents and all of that. If he feels that his wishes, his aspirations are going to be gag in the People's Democratic Party, and he needs some sort of fresh air, and he decides to tilt his loyalty in favor of his conscience as against in favor of his political party, I think we should not crucify the man for that. Because if you ask me, so far, the PDP has done their primaries. If you ask, how many of them have really tilted their loyalty in favor of their consciences and in favor of their states? It's all about interest. It's all about what is in need for them, So that's the kind of situation we have. But I'm glad that individuals, group of people like yourself and others have decided to create this platform, perhaps to sensitize people and open up the mind of people that, look, things can actually be done in the right manner. Our politics for now is highly unideological in nature. We are still practicing the politics of winner taking it all. So the best heads in the country are relegated to the background. So you ask yourself, why can't PDP, for instance, resolve to say Peter Obi is a good candidate and we will support him? Why can't PDP say, look, we don't have a good presidential candidate that is sellable. Where is Victor Mogalu? Let us bring him on board. People should be assessed based on their antecedent, based on what they can do, based on their competence. I mean, we should be using the performance indicators of their previous leadership to judge them. So, The issue of is personal, perhaps, to those who feel that, yes, this is against their conscience and they will not do it. So if Peter Obi really feels what is going to go, what is happening in PDP is likely to affect his political further ambition, and he decides to back up. For me, I leave it at that.
All right, thank you very much. You had a few network problem. There was some glitches over there.
Yeah.
But I believe the audience heard what you said. So I'm going to take a quick break, and when we'll come back, read a comment, and you give your 1 minute closing remark to close this show.
See the bridge. We collapse here. Bike they follow here pass. Then motor they follow this other side pass. Then see the hill. See the hill up. This one to the hill up, no get problem at all. Nothing can just come down.
All right, welcome back, my brothers and sisters, and welcome back, Barrister. So that video you watched is a video of a collapsed bridge, collapsed last September 2021 in Ubofia ward of Uhihi village, Agrijuku town, Aguatalu government, Anambra state. I've been showing that video for many weeks now, every Tuesday, which I promise I'll keep showing it every Tuesday until something positive is done about it. There's some positive development on that regard. So, but there's also negative, like some insecurity challenge. So positive, negative. So I don't know. So I'm putting this. Should I stop showing the video for now until we see if the positive is got pushed further along, or just keep showing the video until the positive solidifies? I don't know if the negative, due to security challenges, is going to affect the positive. So let's see how it goes, and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, and I will take a quick minute to read the section 40 of the Constitution that we actually do. The conversation we had today is actually in section 40 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, so I'll take a few minutes to read that. Every person shall be entitled to assemble freely and associate with other persons in particular, he may form or belong to any political party, trade union, or any other association for the protection of his interests, provided that the provision of this section shall not derogate from the powers conferred to this Constitution on the Independent National Electoral Commission with respect to political parties to which the Commission does not accord recognition. So that is the section 40 of the Constitution that we draw today's topic on. So that is that. I'll take a few comments and that we haven't taken before, then I will give the barrister a minute to wrap up. Okay, we've read this, okay. What about this? So the government should provide a conducive atmosphere for the aspirants to vote electronically, since the results now are transmitted electronically. You are very correct, Blessing Retifa. Actually, our organization, this program every Tuesday is powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. And this organization have actually pushed for electronic voting for diasporans. And we're going to keep pushing. And we encourage every other non-governmental organizations in Nigeria to keep pushing, and Nigerian citizens in Nigeria and outside Nigeria to keep pushing. Because we have to keep speaking. The more we speak, eventually, they must hear us. But if you don't speak, the status quo is maintained, and the status quo is not in favor of diasporans. And the diasporas are supposed to vote. Every country, most countries of the world, the diaspora vote. They vote either by mail or electronically. But let's have social provision for diasporans participation in the election period. And that is what we are asking. And I hope that it will be granted soon as we keep pushing. But we must push. We'll have to keep pushing for that to happen. Okay, so thank you for that statement, Blessing. Okay, so I don't know. All right, I think that's all the question we have. Back to you, the wonderful barrister Joseph Baggio. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Yeah. Yeah, you tried.
All right. So you have the floor. 1 minute, your closing remark.
Yeah. Once again, let me thank you and the organization for providing this platform for us to enlighten our citizens within and outside the country. And let me also mention quickly that Nigeria belongs to all of us. And Nigeria cannot be good except I and you and many out there join hands to make it good. So let us all contribute our quota. Let us all do our share in the little bit we can to build our nation, to take Nigeria out of this current quagmire it is to an enviable Nigeria. Let us not despise our country. Let us show love to our country. Let us be committed to our country. Let us have the spirit to serve our country patriotically where the opportunity presents itself. So thank you very much for having me, and also to pledge my commitment that I'm always available to do my bit anytime I'm called upon to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Barrister Joseph. I enjoy having you to this show, and I feel like I should bring you to this show every Tuesday. So we'll figure that out and we'll see how it goes. But thank you very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking out your time to come and be our special guest and answer the questions that people have, that I have. And I hope to bring you back very, very soon. And thank you, audience, thank you, Ms. Blessing, for the questions and commentary. Thank you, Chidima Ezilo, for questions and commentary. And thank you, Ms. Rita. Just want to take time to thank each and every one of you. And thank you those watching at home or at our workplace. Keep watching, keep sharing, like the video, share the video, and participate every Tuesday. We greatly appreciate it, because the more you participate, the more you like and share, the more the message is going to be spread abroad, and people are going to hear more about it and learn more and do more for our beloved country, Nigeria. Thank you once again, and I will be here next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Nigerian time. And this show, once again, is powered by the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, or in abbreviation, GCSDN. Thank you, Barrister, and I'll talk to you soon.